Good morning, students. How are you all? Fine. Okay, very good. Students, now is the session of economics. Okay, and in the previous session, we had started the new chapter money and banking. Okay, from that very chapter, we had discussed about the meaning and drawbacks of the barter system of exchange. Okay, later on we came to know that now is the monetary system of exchange in which money is used as a medium of exchange. Okay, all right. In yesterday's discussion I told you that money is the matter of functions for a medium, a measure, a standard and store. Okay, that means what? That means anything can be called money which performs these four basic functions. What are these basic four functions? These are a medium of exchange number one, a measure of value number two, a store of value number 3, and a standard of deferred payment number 4. Okay, we had also discussed that whatever is used as money in an economy must have the two characteristics first. What are these two characteristics which must be possessed by money? These are number one, money should have general acceptability, and number two, money should be legal tender. Okay, students, although there are four basic functions of money, however several other important functions are performed by money in an economy, and these functions affect the operation of economic system, monetary system and financial system largely. Therefore, all these functions of money have been categorized into the three, and they are categorized as primary functions, secondary functions and contingent or other functions. Okay, so we will have a long discussion about all these functions. Okay, let us first discuss about the primary functions of money. Okay, primary functions here mean the basic functions, the main functions which are primarily performed by money, and they are called primary functions of money. Do you know what are these primary functions of money? These are number one, medium of exchange, and number two, measure of value. Okay, first, medium of exchange. Students, you know that during barter system of exchange there was no common medium of exchange to facilitate the transfer of goods from one person to another. Rather, the goods were exchanged for goods. Okay, and that's why it was called barter system. But you know, students, now the time has changed. With the invention of money, it has become very feasible, easy and flexible to make any kind of exchange anywhere without any interruption or difficulty. How? Suppose there are three persons, Mr. A, Mr. B and Mr. C. Mr. A is having clothes, Mr. B is having grain and Mr. C is having fruits. Okay, if Mr. A is in need of grain, but Mr. B is not in need of cloth, then there will not be exchange. Okay. And similarly, if Mr. B is in need of fruits, but Mr. C is not in need of grain, then there will not be exchange. And now suppose some money is given to them, then what will happen? Mr. A can easily purchase grain from Mr. B by paying the price for it. Mr. B can easily purchase the fruits from Mr. C by paying price for it in the form of money. That means money, what is doing here? Money here is acting as a medium of exchange. It has facilitated the exchange of goods between the three persons, Mr. A, Mr. B and Mr. C. Okay. Now imagine if there had been barter system of exchange and suppose there is no money, then usually there happened to be a common difficulty during barter system, and that is the lack of double coincidence of wants. Okay, we had discussed in the previous class. So you may conclude, you may say that with the invention of money, the difficulty of double coincidence of wants of the barter system has been removed out. Okay, this is the first function of money, to act as a medium of exchange. Okay, the second primary function of money is that it measures value, right? You know, children, a commodity has two types of values. Number one is called value in use and the other is called value in exchange. Value in use implies utility of the commodity. That means how useful a commodity is in everyday life for human being. This is value in use. When we say value in exchange, that means the value of a commodity in the market expressed in terms of money, that is called price. Okay. So during barter system, it was very difficult to measure the value of anything in absence of money. Why? Because the value of goods was measured in terms of the value of other goods. Okay. For example, if you have a car and suppose it is barter system of exchange, then your car will be valued in terms of other goods like cows, like elephants, like horses or other things. Okay. Do you think there will be an appropriate and accurate measurement of the value of your car in terms of other kinds, other things? No, certainly not. Either there will be overestimation of your car in terms of the value of other goods, or there will be underestimation of the value of your car in terms of other goods. Okay. This was the major drawback of barter system, in which it happened to be very difficult to measure the value of a commodity because there was no common unit to measure the value. But what happened later on? When money was invented, it started to be accepted as a common medium of exchange, and anything started to be priced in terms of money, and money is divided into numerical numbers. Okay, money can be of any denomination. The value of commodity can be split up into any denomination. Okay, with the help of arithmetical numbers, because the currencies and coins are based on arithmetical numbers. So if you measure the value of your car in terms of money, you will find that there is an accurate measurement of the value of your car. Okay, so whatever difficulty happened to exist during barter system, and it was difficulty in the measurement of the value of a commodity in exchange. Now this difficulty of measuring the value of a commodity in exchange has been removed out by money. Okay, so these are the two primary functions of money. Now let us discuss the secondary functions of money. Okay, the secondary functions of money may be as: number one, a store of value. Okay, you know, children, everyone wants to save, everyone wants to accumulate wealth for future purposes. Okay, to meet future uncertainties, everyone wants to have wealth, wants to store wealth. Okay, but just think, it is a barter system of exchange, there is no money, then how difficult it will become to store the wealth, the value in terms of kinds, because the wealth will have to be stored in the form of goods, kinds. Okay, it will need a lot of space, it will create a lot of problems. Okay, heavy expenses on maintaining them. So thus you can say it is very much difficult to store value or wealth during barter system, and it has now become very easy to store the value of any extent in the form of money or in the form of other financial assets, financial papers. Okay, you can now save a lot of money to larger extent without having cash with you, without having kinds with you. Now is the time of digital money. Okay, without seeing your money, you can have a lot of wealth with you. Okay, why it has become possible? It has become possible only with the invention of money. Okay, thus you can say the money has removed out the difficulty of a store of value of the barter system of exchange. Okay, the next secondary function of money is a standard of deferred payment. Okay, it acts as a standard of deferred payment. How? If I take something from you today with a promise to return it in future on a particular specific day, and just you give that thing to me in expectation that I will return the same thing on that particular day,